Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. JustusRStone here with my thoughts on Volume 2 of the light novel series, Seraph of the End Guren Ichinose Catastrophe at 16. Now first off, this is actually what they call an omnibus edition. This, even though it is Volume 2 here in the English market, in Japan this is actually collecting Volumes 3 and 4 of the light novel series, so it's a wee bit thicker than your average light novel. In this volume, we pick up from the end of volume number 1, or omnibus number 1, where Guren has been sort of taken on as a trusted ally of the heir to the Hiragi clan. So suddenly he finds himself in a very different social stratus than where he started in volume 1, where he was just this Ichinose mongrel that was, spurned and hated by the majority of his classmates. He also finds himself suddenly developing a circle of friends amongst the people that initially he saw as nothing but his enemies. Although he knows that secretly he is risking everything, himself, his clan, his friends, because he is continuing the research into the cursed weapons, the demon-possessed weapons that Miharu kind of introduced him to in a pretty violent way at the end of volume number 1. This volume accomplishes a lot in between sort of the two collected light novels that it has. I'll just refer to it as volume 2 because it makes it easier for me. But in this volume, we get a ton of things happening. But the two major things that occur that make this a phenomenal middle sort of part of this story is that A, it not only advances the plot, but does it in an incredibly fast-paced and action-packed way. And B, we get a lot more development of our characters. Not just Guren, who I thought was very much the central character of volume number 1. In this one, his friends, they get their moment. They get their point of view where they get to sort of shine as the main character. They get these really good sort of character moments. There is a lot of introspection in this book amongst all the characters, taking a look at their motivations and what are they actually really trying to accomplish, and particularly Guren, who finds himself in this very odd position where the people he hates and he wants to topple are suddenly ones that he needs. He can't deny their power and what it will enable him to do, particularly now that the whole stratum of the power situation seems to be fluctuating. So it's a really, really good book that way, in that, like I said, we have characters who were kind of cool in volume 1 suddenly becoming much more fleshed out, dimensional characters in this volume. We have a really, really amped up action. Like in volume 1, of course, it was very much an introduction to the world. We had sort of your school life, so they could really show you just where Guren fit into the whole social stratus of everything within the school life. In this one, it pretty much hits the ground running. There is action throughout. There are characters put into peril throughout. There is death and there is violence. And in fact, what would be volume number 4 of the light novels is almost nothing but pure action right from the start until pretty much the very last page. It is just go, go, go action. And the pacing of this, I just burned through this book because it constantly pulls you forward. It's advancing the story, and it is pulling you towards what you know is this inevitable conclusion of this massive disaster, but we're still not sure exactly how that's going to happen, who's going to cause it, how do the vampires play into the whole thing. So there are so many more questions in this book that this book creates and poses, and it ends on a great little cliffhanger that makes the book itself really satisfying where it ends, but at the same time, I am so looking forward now to reading volume 3 to see how this particular storyline ends. And I've pretty much sold myself on the idea that once I've done my videos on discussion videos on Pandora Hearts, I am going to do it on Seraph of the End, because I just have to read the manga now that I have read these light novels. That is how good these are. Really, really tightly written plots. some very, very good characters, and like I said, even though it's a completely fantastical sort of thing going on, the introspection that the characters have and the self-awareness that the characters have, I really enjoy. It's refreshing when you have so many other sort of like anime and manga and light novels where your characters, they're ditzy or stupid or just completely oblivious to the realities that are around them. It's kind of cool to see characters that are smart and intelligent, even if they're realizing just how dumb and powerless they are. So those are my thoughts on volume number 2 of Seraph of the End Guren Ichinose, volume number 2, the Omnibus edition. If you liked volume 1, I think you will like this one just as much, if not better. Like I said, action, lots and lots of action, lots of great character moments. Totally what a book is, particularly sort of that middle part of the story that you would really hope to see. My next review is going to be on The Rising of the Shield Hero, volume number 3. I've actually fallen behind. Volume 4 was released in June, so I got to get on top of this series and get back to it, and also because I really like this series too. So my next light novel video will be on volume number 3 of The Rising of the Shield Hero. If you're new to the channel, click on subscribe either above my head or down in the description down below. Well, I guess it's kind of a little bit over to the side or whatever, but anyway, I also have links to all my old light novel reviews, my manga reviews, and I don't just like to read books, I like to write them too, so you can check those out at the link above. Thanks very much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye for now.